Welcome everyone. This is Sarah here today to share a prenatal practice with you. I'm glad you could join us. So let's begin. If you have any props available that you'd like to use, 2 blocks, a bolster, a blanket, whatever you have available for your comfort. Elevate your hips a little bit higher than your knees. Come to a comfortable seated position. Bring your hands palms down into your lap. Let your eyes close. With your palms down, this is grounding your energy. So keep your hands down on your lap as you circle your torso. Think of the torso as a spoon in the bowl of the pelvis. And as you circle around, move with the flow of your breath. Inhale as you draw the heart forward. Let the elbows bend just a little bit. As you exhale, try not to round the spine too much. Keep plenty of space for baby. As you move, notice that you're circling around the sitting bones. Try not to put pressure on the tailbone. Feel the sensation in the lower back. Feel the sensation in your hips. And then pause and switch direction with your circles. Notice if there's been a change in sensation as you change direction. Keep inhaling forward, keep exhaling back. Keep the spine lengthened and long, keeping space for baby. On your next inhale, come up, sit nice and tall. Ground through your sitting bones. Relax the joints of the hips, the knees, and the ankles, and lengthen through your spine. Tuck your chin just enough to feel space in the back of the neck. Start to roll the shoulders up by the ears, giving a little squeeze to dissolve tension. Exhale, take the shoulders down and away from the ears. Next time the shoulders are down in their sockets, nice and heavy, let them stay still there. Then begin a tune in. Feel your breath rising and falling. Begin to breathe and let life get simple. Breathe and come into the experience in your body. We all know what it's like to live in our minds. So give yourself the gift of being present with your breath to bring your awareness from your mind into your body. As you breathe, feel the spaces that are cool, feel the spaces that are heated. Feel the ribs expand as you inhale, feel them contract as you exhale. Allow your breath to become equal. Count how long does it take to take a full inhale without force. How long does it take to exhale completely without force? You might try a silent count to 4 on the inhale, 4 on the exhale. Feel free to increase the number as you need to. Keep in mind an equal inhale and an equal exhale. This is very calming for the nervous system and grounding to our energy. As you breathe, relax the muscles of your face. So notice if you're holding tension in your jaw, your eyes, your forehead. Relax and soften. Next time you inhale, bring your arms out to the sides. Let the palms face up. Sweep the arms up overhead. Then as you exhale, turn the palms to face away from you. Release the arms right back down toward the earth. Do this a few times in a flowing movement. Go with the rhythm of your breath. Inhale, lengthen, extend the arms up. Exhale, release the arms down. Begin to clear the energy around you with the movement of your arms arms. On your inhale, start to think of an intention that you'd like to cultivate through your effort and your energy today. And as you exhale, begin to imagine all the things that are weighing on you. Senses of negativity, fear, anxiety, anxiousness. Let that all be released into the greater container of the earth beneath you. Inhale, draw in your intention. Exhale, let everything else float away. Next time your arms are extending, join the palms together up overhead. And as you exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Pause your thumbs lightly at your sternum. Lift your heart towards your hands. Roll your shoulders back and down. Keep extending through the spine with a small tuck in your chin. Find that equal breath, inhaling fully, exhaling completely. Inhale again. This time as you exhale, tuck your chin to your chest. Take a pause. Send yourself gratitude for making the time and the space to be on your yoga mat today. Keeping your chin tucked, release your hands into your lap. Let your palms face open. Keep your elbows bent. Keep your shoulders relaxed. So the whole spine is extending, except the chin tucks in. Next inhale, draw your left ear to your left shoulder. Feel a release in the right side of the neck. As you exhale, tuck the chin to the chest. As you inhale, take the right ear to the right shoulder, stretching the left side of the neck. A few more of these half neck rolls to help dissolve tension in the neck, a place that we very commonly hold tension, and sometimes we're not even aware of the fact that we're holding tension in our neck. So as you move, make sure your movement is slow and intentional. So when you identify places of tightness, discomfort, you can pause, breathe deeper, and create more ease in the neck and the shoulders as you move the head slowly from side to side. Next time your chin tucks in towards your chest, pause. Wait for your inhale, and then as it arrives, lift your head to center. Chin is parallel with the floor, and very slowly and gently blink the eyes open, returning into the light of the room. And then let's go ahead and come onto our hands and our knees. So if you'd like to place a blanket to cushion your knees, you can. You can place it about halfway down your mat. Coming to hands and knees, your knees are directly beneath your hips, your hands are directly beneath the shoulders. And then if baby needs more space, you might take your knees a little bit wider. You might walk your hands in front of you just a little bit. And press into all 10 fingers so you feel the weight distributing away from your wrists. Keep a small bend in the elbows. Press the earth away. Feel an expansion in the shoulder blades. If you need to modify for comfort in the wrists, use blocks. Bring your forearms to blocks. This is a great way to modify a hands and knees pose. You also can use fingertips, fists, or forearms to the mat. So many choices here. You choose what works best for your wrists. So holding the position that's comfortable, begin to inhale and gently look up. Gently extend the tailbone behind you. This is a mild compression to the spine. Then as you exhale, use the strength of your core. So gather up the muscles of the pelvic floor and the lower abdominals. As you arch the spine toward the ceiling, look back toward your toes. Take a few cat-cow positions, so moving with the flow of your breath. You can inhale, forward into the cow position, exhale, look back, arch the spine for cat pose. Letting your baby's weight come off the lower back and out of the pelvis just a touch as you inhale. And then hugging your baby with gentle abdominal strength as you exhale. Feel the oscillation of the spine, places that feel fluid, places that feel tighter today. And on your next inhale, come to a neutral spine where your spine has natural curves. Keep aware of how your wrists are feeling. Modify to fingertips, fists, forearms, or blocks if you need to. Begin to wag your tail and gaze back at your tail as you wag. So inhale to one side, exhale to the other side. Making this small C shape of the spine, a light compression on one side, and getting some extra space on the other side. As you inhale, come back to center. Again, be mindful of your wrists, position as you need to. Now start to roll your spine around. So this is blending our cat-cow positioning together with our tail wag. Your hips are circling. If you're dizzy, you'll keep your head still. If you're not dizzy, let your head move with the circling. And then switch direction. This is a nice sensation for the hips and the lower back. And then as you inhale, come back to center. Make sure your knees are nice and wide. Make plenty of space for baby. Let the big toes touch. Inhale, and as you exhale, hips draw back to heels for child's pose. You're welcome to use blocks. If your baby has grown a lot lately and you feel like you need to bring the floor closer to you, use blocks. Lift the forehead up here. Make sure you can still breathe. Baby is right between your thighs. So feel the hips squeeze, those hip flexors in the front of the thighs. Feel the lower back stretch. Start to crawl your fingertips in front of you, making more space between your ribs. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, walk your arms to one side. Keep your head down. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Stretch a little bit further through the arm that's expanding the ribs. Draw back through that same hip. Breathe into that expansion. So inhale and exhale. As you inhale, walk your arms back to center. As you exhale, walk your arms to the opposite side. Again, lengthening that arm, stretching back through that thigh, making more space across that side. Very gentle compression on the opposite side. Keep your head down and your shoulders relaxed. Take a full breath in, full breath out. And then as you inhale, slowly walk it back to center. Make your way to hands and knees. Walk your knees underneath your hips. Start to curl both sets of toes under. Take a block. As you stand on your knees, place that block between your upper thighs. Squeeze the block with the upper thighs. Feel the inner thighs engage. Start to lift the muscles of the pelvic floor up. Draw your navel to your spine. If it's difficult to feel your abdominals these days because baby's getting bigger, think drawing your front ribs toward your back ribs. Bring your fingers facing down and your palms to your sacrum. Lower back. We're moving into a modification of camel's pose. So keep squeezing on that block for stabilizing the pelvis. Keep drawing those shoulder blades together. Let the chin lift about halfway where the ceiling meets the wall. Keep your left hand on your lower back as you inhale. Reach your right arm up toward the ceiling. Stretch it up nice and tall. Make space between the right knee and the right fingertips. Lengthen here. As you exhale, release the shoulder joint down and away from your ear so it's nice and heavy. Feel free to stay here and breathe deeply, or start to move gently in a little dynamic flow. So as you inhale, you're standing on your knees, your arm is extended. As you exhale, you lean just a little bit to the left. creating a deeper stretch through the right side. And after you do that a few times, go ahead and inhale that right arm up. Exhale the right hand to the lower back. We'll switch sides. Inhale, extend the left arm up. Feel that stretch through the left side of the body, relaxing the shoulder joint heavy. Inhale and exhale. See how you feel on this side. Feel free to stay still with a nice deep breath or dynamically move. Take your exhale, lean to the right. Inhale, come back up, stand on the knee, and bring your arm up. A couple of dynamic movements on this side, moving with the flow of your breath. And then on your next inhale, you can lift the left arm up, exhale it to the lower back. Making your way back to hands and knees, you can separate the knees, release the block to the floor in front of you. Take both blocks to their highest position, just beneath your shoulders. And slowly start to walk your right foot out to the side and walk it forward. Make sure this isn't straining in your lower back or your pelvis. Keep your foot wider than your block if baby needs more space. If baby doesn't need so much space, you can still keep your foot between the blocks. We're coming into a low lunge. Place your fingertips against the blocks. Roll the shoulders back and down. Let the heart lift here. Hips are squaring forward. Keep toned through the core. So lift the pelvic floor muscles up. Draw the navel to the spine. Keep those muscles active, and as you inhale, start to slide the hips forward, but not very far. We don't want to feel pinching in the lower back. So just enough to feel a stretch in the front of your left hip. Let the gaze lift slightly. Then as you exhale, walk the hips back. Peel the right toes off the ground. Flex the foot. Straighten the leg a little bit more. It's okay if it doesn't straighten completely. Just a little bit more to feel a stretch in the hamstring. Then again, you'll inhale, float forward. Exhale, float back. You can keep your hands on the blocks. You're also welcome to move your arms. So if you'd like to add the arms, you'll inhale, lift the arms up, bend the elbows, stretch through the collarbones, and as you exhale, hands back to the blocks, leaning forward just a little bit. So a few times on this side, find the movement with the arms or keep the hands on the blocks the whole time, and work with opening through your hips. Be mindful of the lower back, again, making sure there's no pinching sensation in the lower back. If you get that sensation, you may be going a little bit too far, so back off the movement just a little bit. And then we'll switch sides, so let the arms lift up, exhale into the blocks. Now shift your weight back. So again, the leg is straightening, the toes are flexed. We're twisting toward that straight leg. So walk your left block off to the side, lean into that left block, peel your right hand to your right hip, look up over your shoulder. This is a big stretch for the hamstring, the IT band. Some of you might be feeling sensation of the sciatic nerve stretching. If it's too much of a sensation, you'll relax the toes and bend the knee a little bit. Maybe extend the arm up overhead. And then you can draw your bicep by your ear, feeling a big release to that right side of the body. And then as you inhale, let the arm lift you up, and exhale, circle you back to a lunge. And slowly walk that right foot back just as you entered it. You'll walk back one step at a time. Before we go to the next side, wiggle your hips left and right. Let the hips center before we take the poses in the opposite direction. So start to walk your left foot forward. Again, taking as many steps as you need to without any discomfort in the lower back or the pelvis. Keep space for your baby, foot outside of the blocks, or if you don't need that space quite yet in your pregnancy, step your foot inside of the blocks. But keep squaring the hips, roll the shoulders back and down, let the heart lift up. Re-engage the core. So from the pelvic floor up to the lower abdominals. Keep those muscles active to protect the pelvis and the lower spine. As you inhale, float the hips forward just enough to feel that release in front of the right hip. And as you exhale, walk the hips back, peel the toes off the ground, straighten the leg. So just like on the other side, you're welcome to keep moving in this dynamic movement with the fingers on the blocks the whole time. If you want to add the arms, inhale them up, bend the elbows like a cactus, stretching across the heart. As you exhale, hands return to the blocks, lifting the toes off the ground, straightening that leg. A massage for the hip flexor in the front of the hip on that right side, and the hamstring, sciatic nerve, and IT band on the left side. And then next time you're in a lunge, arms up, go ahead and bring your hands to the blocks. Walk your hips back again, peel the toes off the ground. We'll take that twist in the direction of the straightened leg. So walk your right block to the right, lean to that right block, left hand to your left hip, roll the shoulder back. Your gaze can be up. If that hurts your neck though, feel free to look down. If you're feeling too much of a stretch here, you can relax the toes and bend the knee. Then extend your arm up toward the ceiling. Feel that release in the left side of the body. Take an inhale here. How does it feel if you turn your thumb up toward the ceiling, palm facing behind you? And then draw your bicep by your ear, taking a deeper release through that left side. Inhale, extend the arm up. Exhale, return out of your twist, hands back to both blocks. Walk your left foot back, as many steps as you need to take. Pause with both knees beneath the hips, and hips move from right to left. And after you do that a few times and you feel satisfied with that movement, walk your blocks back towards your knees. Curl both sets of toes under. Begin to release the heels to the mat. Walk your blocks just underneath you. We're in Uttanasana, or a standing forward fold. Fingertips can return to the blocks. Roll the shoulders back and down. As you inhale, bend the knees generously like chair pose. Hips draw back. Weight is into heels. Spine is straightening. As you exhale, forward fold. Keep a small bend in the knees. As you inhale, sweep the arms up. If this makes you dizzy, please keep your hands at your hips. Otherwise, extend the arms up. Join the palms. Exhale, draw the hands to the heart. Again, inhale, reach, lengthen through the body. As you exhale, pour over bent knees, hands return to the blocks, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, straightening through the spine, strengthening the quads. Exhale, forward bend, keeping a small bend in those knees again. Inhale, root to rise, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, reach arms up. Exhale again, pour over bent knees. Inhale, find chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Small bend in the knees again, reach the arms up overhead. This time interlace the fingers, push the palms up and away from you. Ground through all four corners of your feet. Lift the kneecaps, feel the quads engage. Draw the front ribs to the back ribs. Feel space between the ribs. Inhale here. Exhale, release to a small side stretch. Inhale, lengthen once again. Exhale, other side. Inhale, lengthen again, and exhale, release your arms. Then find a wide stance on your mat. Take one block just in front of the wide side of your mat. You can take off other props that were on your mat. Begin to heel toe your feet until they're in a wide position. Bring your hands to your hips, roll the shoulders back and down. Toes are pointing straight ahead. Four corners of the feet again, tailbones releasing, lifting through the pelvic floor, drawing the core in and up slightly. Take an inhale. As you exhale, with a nice long spine, begin to tip forward. When you start to feel those hamstrings stretch, take your hands to that block. Keep your right hand on the block, and as you inhale, lift your left arm up toward the ceiling. Watch your arm as it lifts. Exhale, watch the arm as it lowers. Return left hand to the block. Inhale, extend your right arm up overhead. 2 more times each side. Feel the stretch move up the leg and into the lower back. Feel free to pigeon toe the feet or open the toes wider than the heels. A change in the way your toes are pointed will affect the sensation up the legs and into the lower back. So feel free to make those shifts as you'd like. And then next time both hands are on the blocks, turn the toes again to face forward. Small bend in the knees, hands to the hips, strengthen through your core, and very slowly make your way to stand. If you get dizzy, keep the chin tucked. Roll the shoulders back and down once you're lifted, and then when you're not feeling that dizzy sensation anymore, bring the chin parallel and let your eyes open. Start to turn your right toes 90 degrees. Turn your left toes in a little bit. If your blood pressure needs some support today, if your heart rate is still elevated, keep your hands at your hips. Look over your right shoulder, inhale. As you exhale, bend your knee. Make sure your knee is just over your ankle. Knee is pointing toward the little toe so you can look down and see your big toe. Maybe you reach toward opposite walls. Reaching the fingertips nice and wide. Draw those front ribs in toward the back ribs. So warrior 2. Turn the palms to face open. This will relax the shoulders. If this feels better to you, stay here. Otherwise, you're welcome to turn the palms down once again. Take an inhale. As you exhale, bring your elbow down to your thigh. When you lean to the right, if baby needs more space, use your hand. It's okay. Then draw your left bicep nice and long by your ear. Extended side angle pose. Gently pressing into that right elbow, roll the left ribs to the sky, gaze up. And if that hurts the neck, feel free to look it down. Inhale, slowly lift back to warrior 2. Now support the lower back on the left side with your left hand. As you inhale, lift your right arm, lean back a little bit. We'll flow between those poses twice more. Inhale, warrior 2. Exhale, take a side stretch. Inhale again, warrior 2. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Weight distributing equally between your feet as you move. Keeping lots of space for baby. These side stretches help us to keep more space for baby. Keep more space for our breath. Next time you're in warrior 2, straighten the legs, lower the arms, turn the toes opposite directions. Hands return to the hips, left toes 90 degrees, right toes shifting in. Tailbone drops down, roll the shoulders back, draw your front ribs in toward the back ribs. Look over your left shoulder, inhale here, exhale, bend your knee. Just over your ankle, again, you want the knee bending in the direction of the little toe. You want to see your big toe. Keep your hands here if you need to protect your blood pressure and your heart rate. Or inhale and extend your arms, reaching to opposite walls. Check in with the shoulders. Keep the shoulders nice and heavy. If you need a little assistance there, it's okay. Roll the palms to the sky, bend the elbows a little bit. Take an inhale as you exhale. Left elbow down to the thigh. Remember, you can use your hand if baby needs some more space. And then as you draw into your side stretch, bring your right bicep by your ear. Gently press into the thigh with that left elbow. Roll the right ribs to the sky. Nice big stretch to the right side of the body from the foot all the way through the fingers. Inhale, slowly return to warrior 2. Support the right side of the lower back with the right hand. Inhale, extend the left arm. Leaning back just a little bit, and twice more. Keep going. Notice if your toes are gripping the mat. Try to keep the toes soft. Use the strength of your legs instead of tension in your feet. And then next time you're in the warrior two pose, we'll straighten the legs, lower the arms, turn the feet forward, bring your hands back to your hips. Now walk your feet in toward each other 2 to 3 times, then turn your feet outward. So we're still standing wide, just not quite as wide as before, and sit deeper into this high squat. So look at a point in front of you. It's something that's not moving. In yoga, we call this the drishti. This is our focal point. So find that focal point at your horizon level. It's something that's not moving. Keep your hands at your hips. As you inhale, straighten your legs. As you exhale, come back into the high squat. As you move in and out of this squat, see if you need to keep your hands down the whole time at hips, or can you move your arms? So as you inhale, reach the arms up. As you exhale, release the arms down. If this brings too much challenge to the blood pressure or the heart rate, bring your hands back to your hips. Otherwise, keep moving arms as you go. So let's start to inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. So it's like a sigh, it's an audible exhale. Good, so do that a couple of times, letting go with every exhale. Go one more time. Next time you're standing, join the palms up overhead, and as you exhale, bring your intention back into your heart. Let your hands pause in front of your heart, Anjali Mudra. Roll the shoulders back and down. Heel toe the feet until you're standing about hip distance apart. And feel the strength that your body has to move you in those standing poses. So feel the gratitude that you have for your body for supporting you day in and day out, and supporting your baby. Breathing deeply here, allow your heart rate and your blood pressure to calm. Feel the stability beneath you. Tadasana pose, mountain pose. Feel the roots of the pose underneath the feet, grounding through all 10 toes, distributing that weight equally between the balls and the heels of the feet and the inner and outer arches of the feet. And then lifting through the crown of the head, the peak of that mountain. And when you're ready, start to open your eyes, release your arms, and turn toward the wall. So step back toward the center of the room. As you're in a 90-degree angle here, press the wall away. Feel your baby's weight moving off the lower back. Keeping a little bit of a bend in the knees, start to move your hips. You can sway them left to right. You can circle them. You can do a couple of cat-cows. Do any movement here that feels nice to your lower back and your hips, and to stabilize your blood pressure and your heart rate. Then when you're ready, walk toward the wall. Keep your hand touching the wall. Walk that arm behind you against the wall. Start to step a little closer to the wall. This is a stretch for your shoulder. So if this is too much of a stretch when you walk toward the wall, go ahead and step away from the wall. Once you find a stretch that feels good to you there, just stay still. Roll the shoulders back and down. Release the tailbone a little bit so you've got a natural curve in the lower back. Shoulders are soft, breath is deep. And bring your awareness to that side of the chest, the underarm, the shoulder. Start to walk your arm down the wall. Start to walk your arm up the wall, exploring how your shoulder feels, moving the arm up and down the wall. You might even try extending the arm straight up overhead, pressing into the palm of the fingers, leaning toward the wall, and pretending you could pull the wall down. This lifts the ribs up and away from the pelvis, getting some more space there. Take an inhale. As you exhale, step away from the wall, let the arm fall, let it dangle. Bring the blood back into the arm. You'll feel a rush of sensation. And hopefully you feel more open in that shoulder. Let's go ahead and turn around, and we'll do this on the other side. So extend the arm behind you. You want to bring it about as high as your shoulder. Step closer to the wall if you need less stretch. Step away from the wall. Stand tall here. Gently drawing baby in with that abdominal strength. Releasing your tailbone, just enough to soften the lower back. Keep breathing here, and then start to explore movement of your arm on this side. So try walking your arm down the wall. If that feels good, you're welcome to stay there. Maybe you experiment walking the arm up the wall. And if you're feeling like baby is right up against your lungs these days and it's hard to breathe, you might take your arm directly up the wall. Step the fingertips even higher. Press into the pads of the fingers as you lean toward the wall. Try to pull the wall down, creating more space there. Inhale. And exhale to step away from the wall. Arm falls and dangles. Now both arms decompress. So you're just making X shapes in front of you. All right, then let's go ahead and sit down. So take your time finding your props again. Find a blanket, smooth side facing forward. That's where you'll sit. And go ahead and release down into a seated position where the right leg extends and the left foot comes to the inner thigh. We'll use one block. So place that block just outside of your right leg. Turn your right palm to the ceiling, lean into your right forearm. Start to look over your left shoulder. Make sure there's plenty of space on the right side here for baby. You can always turn the block to a higher position if you need some more space. And then start with your left hand at your lower back. Draw your left shoulder blade back towards your spine. Looking up if your neck likes that sensation, and if it doesn't, feel free to look down. And then start to draw your left arm by your ear, seeing if you can puff your left ribs toward the side wall, creating more space from that left hip up through the left fingertips. Inhaling and exhaling. And then inhale, let that left arm lift you up. We'll take a counter stretch to the left with the right arm extending. You have two options here. You can keep your hips grounded, or you can lift up to your left knee, keeping your right leg straight. Open that right arm and even let it fall back behind you, just enough to feel a stretch in the front of the chest. Inhale here. Exhale, slowly release back to your blanket. Hands come to support you. As you lean back, switch legs. Left leg wide, right foot touching the inner thigh. Move your block to the left side. Forearm down on that block. Make sure baby's got plenty of space. Block has 3 different heights. Use the size of the block that you need to. And then start with your right hand at the lower back. Palm faces back, shoulder blade hugs to spine, gazes up or down. Remember, it's all about no stress in the neck. Keep the jaw soft. And on an inhale, reach your right arm over. And then reach your ribs toward the side wall. Stay grounded through that right hip as you reach through the fingertips. Again, see what it feels like if you roll your palm behind you and let the thumb face up. Inhale, exhale. On an inhale, reach your right arm up. Take your counter stretch as you exhale. So you're leaning to the right, left arm extending. Stay here, hips down, or option 2 lifts you up to your right knee, left leg stays lengthened, left arm floats behind you, gaze is up. Big expansive stretch, take an inhale, exhale, slowly release back down. Hands back behind you, leaning back. Let's gather both feet to the floor. I'll turn to the side so you can see. We're placing a block between the knees. Hands are just behind you. Now I've got my fingers facing me, but you can also turn your fingers to the sides or turn the palms behind you. So wherever you find your fingers facing, it's all about the comfort in your wrists. Keep a small bend in the elbows. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Squeeze on that block. Inhale and exhale. Inhale again. This time as you exhale, pick your hips up off the mat. Bring your hips about as high as your knees. You can keep looking at the block, keep squeezing on that block. The tailbone releases back toward the backs of the knees. You can look up at the ceiling if that does not strain your neck. This is a stretch for the arms and it's stabilizing for the back, specifically the sacrum and the pelvic floor. Those inner thighs are working hard here. Inhale. As you exhale, release slowly, both hips to the mat. Take your block out from underneath you. And then as you sit back on your blanket, find gentle fists and roll out your wrists. So you can roll the wrists in a circle, one time in one direction, one time in the other direction. If you need to take some more circles, that's okay. As you're sitting, find a comfortable seated position. As you inhale, reach the arms up. As you exhale, turn to the right. Let your left hand go to your right knee. Place your right fingertips to the floor behind you. As you press into the floor, feel the spine extend. And as you exhale, draw your right shoulder blade back towards your spine. Gaze over your shoulder. You'll feel a rotation in the spine. This is a safe twist for you and baby. Feel the release of that left shoulder blade away from your spine. Inhale, look back to center. Exhale, reverse to the other direction. So when you're ready, inhale, reach arms up. Exhale, twisting to the left. You'll bring right hand to left knee, left fingertips to the floor behind you. Press the floor away, expand through the spine. Exhale, draw a little bit deeper into your twist with the shoulder blade back towards your spine, gazing over the shoulder. So again, this is a safe twist for you and baby. The majority of this twist is not in the lower belly. It's upper back, shoulders. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, release from your twist. This time, bring your palms again facing down, rolling the torso just like we did at the beginning of class. Feel the sensation in your lower back and in your hips. It may have shifted and changed since we moved our body in all those different shapes. We brought awareness into our body using our breath. And then start to rotate the opposite direction. Come back to sit tall when you're ready. Bring your left hand to your heart, your right hand to your baby. Roll your shoulders back and down. Lift through the spine. Tuck the chin a little bit here. Relax every muscle in your body except the muscles that are keeping you sitting tall and breathing deeply. Find that equal inhale and equal exhale. Start with the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the inhale. And then exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep that rhythm going. Feel free to lengthen the breath to 5 or 6 if you need to. Just keep the breath equal on the inhale, equal on the exhale. As you breathe deeply, feel the movement of the chest and the belly beneath the hands. Bring a gentle smile to the corners of your mouth. Thank yourself for making time today to dedicate to your own body, coming into your own experience, and serving your baby. You can draw your hands together into Anjali Mudra. And if this feels nice to you to continue meditating through Shavasana, feel free to do that for the next several minutes. If you're ready to release into a different shape for Shavasana, go ahead and open your eyes, release your hands, and you can arrange your props in a way that's comfortable to you. You might take 2 blocks to angle a bolster and place your blanket in front of that bolster. Making sure you've got cushion for your hips, you'll extend the spine against the bolster. Start with your feet on the floor so your knees are bent. This keeps the lower back happier. But if you want a bigger stretch there, you can extend the legs. You might even draw your feet back to the floor if that becomes uncomfortable. So just keep your legs positioned to support your lower back. Arms can stay hugging on your baby. You can also extend the arms out to the sides. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth like a sigh. Let it go as you exhale. And then sink into the next few minutes of relaxation. Let the supports support you. Let every muscle in your body relax. And keep your thoughts contained. If you start to get chattery in your mind, bring it back to your breath. Bring it back to your intention. Keep yourself present. So stay here for as long as you need to. When you're ready to exit from the pose, gently come to your side. Rest here until your blood pressure has regularized, and then come on and sit. Find a comfortable seat, gathering the hands together once again. Roll the shoulders back and down. Thank you for spending time today on your mat. Notice the shifts that you've created in your physical form, in your mental state, in your emotional state. Feel your deep breath ebbing and flowing. Everything you did today helps to keep your nervous system down-regulated. So thanks again for being here with me. I wish you a beautiful day. Namaste.